Hello and welcome to Making Comics and Art, a human art studio production. So, the reason for the title, nothing special, is because it's kind of nothing special. I just wanted to stream before I lose my free week at the pro level or whatever it's called, where I get to do all the fancy stuff, like changing that, and doing other stuff, which I never figured out, but none of that matters. I'm here, and I'm going to be working in a second. Just hold on. So, more than likely, I'm going to be interrupted, but that's okay. If I am, I'll hit the mic so you don't hear anything, but let's do a little... So yeah, what's been going on, friends and neighbors? Yeah. This. Why is there always cat hair around? I have no clue. So yeah, what's recent? Well, weather report said we're due for a storm. Yesterday, I was a little worried because we had snow. Snow by itself is no big deal. It was 30, lower 30s. Which is, okay, above freezing. Overnight it actually got a little warmer. But yesterday it was icing up on the tree, and that's usually a no-no. And in fact, at the end of my graph, there's some pine trees. I think they're pine trees. And a couple of those big branches came down. I had a couple little branches come down on my place. Nothing to worry about. The big branches. That's because, when those branches face up, the pines get really heavy, and the branches are no longer able to move. So that's understandable. The birds take a dive. Mr. Hart, Mr. Guest, Mr. Reviewer. Is the music too loud? Let me know. Or a comment. this month. So yeah, the report of the storm was that it was going to go to 5 o'clock today, I believe. It could change. Weather reports change. It was snowing earlier. Isn't currently. The weather is dipping. It's going to be in the mid to lower 20s overnight. Overall, the next week, we got some much lower temperatures. I think the lowest I saw was 8, so that was like overnight. Then you go down to 8. That might be 3 or 4 days away. The reason I might be interrupted is I have 2 sources of heat that I can use to heat up my apartment. One is it's like an air conditioning unit built into the wall in the front, and I've been using that because it's less noise, it's more convenient. Nah, that doesn't really matter. It's less noise. Less likely to throw dirt around the place. Yeah, I guess both of them collect and distribute. That's nothing to be done about that. That one works fine. It's something I turn on and off. Otherwise, it would go much longer. It doesn't shut off before it gets way too hot. Especially since it's very much to the right of me, But it's convenient enough. Anyway, the other one, the bigger, better one, but much noisier. It's like pain in the ass. It takes like minutes to start. Much louder. Distributes much more dust. That one's it's got this big fan in it, and currently when I turn it on, it's hitting something. It's a minor little thing, and maybe I could figure it out. But I took a look at it and thought I fixed it and closed the cover and started it up, but it's hitting the fan. So that's no good. It was on for like 2 seconds, and I already felt the heat much better than the one I've been using. Anyway, I'm going to get maintenance essentially to come by and fix it for me. So if I hear a knock on my door, I'm going to turn off the volume and look at it and fix it. No, it's something that happened before. When the guy wasn't really informative about what exactly it was, but he just touched something in there with Fandango, and it worked like a weed. So So that's all that needs to be done. There's a chance they might not be around today. It's, you know, me living in a small town with no hits to the land. I should. But yeah, January's looking to be not so big. Considering I got laundry to do, which I could hold off on, you know, it's like who am I looking to you know, just clean socks in the socks and underwear and because everything else is fine. Figured to go out for laundry. The place is too small to have a washer dryer. But I need to do food shopping, but I also need to get paid and some things. Yada yada. Good night. Yay. But yeah, mostly what I'm going to be doing is just light things, mostly filling in blacks. To get back to my topic of why I titled this one what I did. Nothing special. But it's all part of the process. You know, I may not be drawing gods destroying worlds. And definitely not in this book. At the most, this is a biker book. Walking New York. He's essentially an Indian of the cowboys and Indian type. A biker. Gang stories and other stories. And if you didn't know, created, written, drawn by Randy Bishop, good friend of mine, great guy, fellow geek. We could talk about comics and movies for hours. So, not sure if I'm going a full hour. We shall see. But I wanted to, yeah, definitely stream today. If I can make, you know, I'm making a little progress. Good. So there's this guy, Ian Chase Nichols, that streams on Wednesdays. And he's doing a comic, sort of his version of Aquaman or Namor. He's invited me to come on to his channel. There's a possibility it would be me, him, and Allison Fun, or maybe just me and Ian, or y'all join them twice, or whatever. We'll see. But if that happens, I'll let you know. Even if I just do a short to promote it and community post. community post on my YouTube channel. Community tab. Yeah, he's very interested in how to use quill. Seems to be a topic a lot of people are interested in, you know, around the narcissistic circles. I haven't used the quill heavily lately. I think the last time I was, when I was working on designated pages. So I'll have to refresh. But you got to keep up all the skills. Thanks for the hair. I think those symbols are coming from my Facebook. People's watching please feel free to comment. Not sure if I will see Facebook comments here. Maybe after the stream I can go check it out. Oh yeah, that'll be exciting and fun. And you know, Ian has a YouTube channel, and also streams at the same time on Facebook. Sort of like what I'm doing here for the last time. Or until I could afford to pay for such a thing. But that's okay. Yeah, you know, way back in the day when I was first, you know, when I decided I'm going to get into comics as an anchor, that would be my foot in the door. You know, I was not great, in my opinion, but certainly not horrible. I had a lot to learn, and you know, work on books, book after book after book after book, whatever gigs I can get. And certainly a lot of that work, early work, was mixed results. I mean, heck, I'm very picky about how things look. And I still get, you know, results. But you have, you know, a better percentage going for me nowadays. But yeah, you know, I used to use only brush in the very beginning. Brush, I mean, technically. I did a lot of assisting other anchors, like that guy Jimmy Palmiotti, my brother, and a few others. And yeah, going blacks for them, I'd paint backgrounds, buildings, cars, ships, what have you. Sometimes they were being a little daring, they're giving a shot at trees and meadows and forests and, you know, more organic stuff, rocks and stuff. So I did a lot of that while I was looking for, any independent publishers that would give me any sort of work for myself. Did a lot of inking with the brush on everything. And that's, that's good for certain things. Certainly, there's a reason why I use multiple tools. I mean, and the quill fills in the gap. Like on this page, I get to see, like making some of this figure with a quill and making smaller figures, even facial features and whatnot with a quill. I kind of could do some things with it. Technical pen as well. I see a lot of newer inkers, traditional inkers that use markers. Markers are fine too. I played around back in the day. I love Neil King's work. Even he when he wasn't, he wasn't a spectacular inker. But I did like the quirkiness of his work where he penciled in ink himself, and he used markers back in the day. Now, mind you, there were much less variations to markers. You got brush markers. Nowadays, you got all sorts of sizes and shapes and different things you could do with them. Yeah, I got a marker assortment, and haven't used them on inking any pages. I could, but I think if I can use a brush or a quill or a technical pen to do what needs to be done, then I'm good. But yeah, Gil used markers back in the day, and if you're ever lucky enough to see some of his original artwork where he did so, markers aren't that good about lasting, and you can tell a marker or something that was brushed or quilled. Usually it was brown or from off color. It didn't age well. I think marking nowadays is resilient against that sort of thing happening. But it's all according to like what kind of look you're going for. Art is subjective. And I like a lot of different ones. Something else that I've solved in recent years. Now I'm not going to get his last name right. But I'll give it a shot. It's Rob Dulles. Goes by Sketchcraft. He has a YouTube channel. where he does podcasts. If you know Jerk Comics, Rob and Jerk Comics, or not Jerk Comics, Uncle Jerk. It's a YouTuber who goes by the name Uncle Jerk. He's also on Instagram. Well, they both are. But Rob's a great artist. More cartoony style. And you can find his work because he did Spawn kills all the other spawns. The new 5-issue miniseries released through on top of the phone. So Rob on the art, we have coloring it. Rob somebody who pencils into colors his own work, but since it was a 5-issue miniseries, somebody else to color it. But it looks really cool. I'm not necessarily a fan of cartoony stuff as far as what I like in a regular comic book, but I do like his work. It is really cool. If I should make this all black, I'll figure it out later. And hey, it's Landon. What are you working on? I'm just gonna make that a little lower. I don't know if people watching can hear it. Still playing. I think it is. I think it's still going. Okay. Yeah, it's still here. All right, yeah. I made it really low. I don't know if you hear it or not or whatever, but to me, it's still background. It was too loud, so trying to talk and listen to music at the same time is distracting. Just playing with my dog. Nothing wrong with that. Puppy. I had a stray dog show up. It was a couple of days ago. Gorgeous. I think it was a Doberman. Not always great with breeds when it comes to dogs, but it was super friendly. I could tell it was young. Had a collar on, but I guess it escaped from home. And I called the shelter, who would have, taken the dog and looked for its owners or whatever. But I couldn't hold him. I didn't have like a leash or a thick rope, so I can tie it to a tree meanwhile. Then I had to go to the store. I don't know if the shelter ever showed up, but I do know the dog got away. Somebody walked past and the dog started following the other person. And I was like, okay, it's out of my hands, I guess. I tried to help, but the dog was just running around. Well, I originally noticed it because it was barking at one of the stray cats. Did I mention this before? I forget. Anyway, beautiful, gorgeous puppy. Wait a minute. I think I got a picture. Who doesn't want to see a picture of a puppy? There you go. Who's the puppy? He listened to me. I told him to sit. He eventually listened to me. It's a cute dog. I had a dog once when I was very little. So I love dogs just as much as cats. I'm not just a crazy cat person. I'm a crazy animal person. As long as they aren't bigger than me. Like I wouldn't want an elephant for a pet. That would just be scary. Even if they were nice, just the sheer size. I'd be afraid it would step on me. Yeah, I heard like different areas really got hit by snow. There's one person I know out in the boonies. He's pretty much stuck at home, snowed in, can't go to the store. I'm not that bad. If things get really bad and cars aren't able to get around, I could still walk to the store. It won't be fun, but I could still get there as long as they're open. It wouldn't suck if I trudged all the way to the store and it was closed. Cute, yeah, he was a cute puppy. He never came back, so I assume he went back home, hopefully. Dogs are hard to train, mine keeps chewing up. It depends on the dog, I think that's a factor. The dog I had was a mixed breed. It was Labrador and something else. Big, big black dog. Lucky. He was super fun. Used to walk him twice a day before school and before dinner, and he'd be good. We had a backyard, so like worst comes to worst, if he had to go out late at night or something, I can take him out for a minute. But he was usually good, and he was easy to train. although he had way too much energy, in the end, Mom was with him most of the days because I was going to grade school. And she was like, this dog is too much for me. So my oldest brother had an apartment, his own apartment in another area of Brooklyn. And he wound up taking him. And I missed Lucky, but my brother came around with the dog at least once a month, maybe twice. And I'd get to walk Lucky and hang out with him while my brother was catching up with Mom. My dad worked 6 days a week, so, you know, I'd see him early mornings and late evenings. Well, dinner time and then afterwards, but wouldn't have much energy to do much. Mostly Sunday was family day. But Lucky, for the most part, was easy. Easy to train. Sit, stay, what have you. To get back to a little art thing, so I think it was at one point, you know, I worked for Valiant as a background anchor, but my brother did a number of books for them. One of them was Solar. Is that what his name was? It sounds weird now. And forget the artist's name other than Peter Grau, something like that. G-U-E, short last name. Was a really good artist. Sort of like a controlled Gene Colan. Clean Gene Colan. Anyway, there was a lot of space stuff sometimes, or buildings. And I remember inking, you know, the backgrounds for my brother on that stuff and using a brush to ink buildings. You know, keeping straight edges straight. Not as good as that at that nowadays. But back when I was younger, I was able to be really precise. I'm not so worried about it. Like, you know, that's what rules and technical pens are for. But yeah, back even before I worked at Valiant, which was before I worked for DC, then Marvel, worked for a lot of small self-publishers or indie publishers, mostly self-publishers that I met. You know, I would meet people at conventions and say, hey, I'm looking for inking work. Gimme. But I was nice about it. I was like, look, just looking for a break. Just trying to make a name for myself and trying to make some money along the way. And that's how people got work before the internet. What's going on? Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't always easy to get work. But I remember one of the people was this guy Barry Blair. He did a lot of elf books. Not necessarily my thing. I do know whatever it was I inked for him, I wasn't really happy with it. It was like I was trying to make Barry not look like Barry, but wasn't skilled enough to do so. Have I ever used Gino? No. I've only used 102s. Yeah, I have a 107. I think I had a 107 back then. But you know, specifically what I wanted, needed, the 102 covered the base when I wasn't using a brush or technical command. Oh, that reminds me, like, so yeah, Ian Chase Nichols invited me to come on. I'm not sure if it's only because, but he definitely wants to do a quill session. Yeah, that's the first time I was asked to do that for somebody. I'll probably do it again beyond him. Not a lot of people get the quill. A lot more people use brushes. A lot easier to use a brush. But, you know, even so, there's a massive skill to it. Like some people who use a brush never require. But, you know, everybody has their own path. Everybody goes their own way. What time is it? It's only 4 o'clock. I'm already hungry. What the hell is wrong with me? What the hell? I guess I only had a late breakfast and considered it lunch. It seems like whenever I stream, it makes me think of food. Well, hey, if you're watching this and you've never heard of me or saw my YouTube channel, go there now. I'm on YouTube. You know, my sort of channel name is Peter Retro Palmiotti. But if you just type in Peter Palmiotti, Damn internet. Let's see. I wanted to use the workhorse because they're a bit too stiff. Well, it's all in how you use it. Like quill quills are more bendable. Yeah. Well, you get like a 107, and I'm sure there's 109. I mean, there's not just tons. You get the flexibility, the bendability, for sure. You know, 102s are kind of tiny and tight, so they're only going to bend so much. You can, you know, I'll do it here. I'm not using a quill, but you can go super thin and then super thick. It's super thin again with the quill. You know, I tend to figure out my lines as I go rather than knowing exactly what line I'm putting down. I have a general idea, but you know, with a quill and with a brush, for that matter, you know, you just throw down lines and then you build and build and build. You know, you could also subtract in different ways. Using white paint is the easiest. So yeah, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell, where you can get notification of new live streams that pop up or videos I upload, or you know, I do shorts occasionally. I mean, you know, it's, if you're watching this, I assume you like art, like comics, like maybe me in particular. So I appreciate everybody who's follows my work and supports my work, and you know, really want to build up my YouTube channel, eventually get it monetized. I have a long way to go for that. You know, I do have over 1,000 subscribers, which is great, but I'm very far from getting, what, 4,000 watched hours? Yeah. You can also, you know, that's like a free way to support me. Just subscribe to my channel. Even, you know, like turn on one of the long videos just randomly and turn the sound off and let it play. Maybe I'll get the watch hours sooner than later. You know, if I keep somewhat consistently this year, I'll get there. You know, so far my schedule hasn't been what it would, you know, presented as. So nothing is consistent in my world, so it's hard to be consistent. And have I ever tried fountain pens? I've used like just sketching regular pen, not necessarily a fountain pen. I just got one I want to modify one and see how it works out. Yeah, I mean, You know, there's like fancy holders nowadays, or you can, you know, makeshift it yourself. Whatever works. So yeah, that becoming a new subscriber on my YouTube channel, it's a free way. But if you really want to support me, become a patron as soon as I am able. I'm going to be starting a book there called Nice Monster. It's just like a sort of experimental project. I say experimental because I have a concept of creating a comic book differently. See how that goes. You know, it will look like a regular comic book, but the way in which I approach putting it together is different. So if you want to sort of follow along with that, as well as, you know, I'll post other things and maybe eventually even do free giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. Obviously, the more people that become my patrons, the more I'll be able to give time to it and do more fun stuff. And even technically, though, I have a Discord. It's really not set up. I do eventually want to set up a Discord, because I have a Facebook group, if you didn't know, called Create Your Own. What is it? Create Your Own Comic Group. And you know, because I don't have a lot of time this year, I know this because I have a year's worth of work. But I do want to do a lot more with that. Yeah, but I'm just one guy. I'm just a guy. So his hair is mostly black, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. But I think, you know, I just did some basic stuff here, made some progress on the page. I'm going to call it done. Yes, become a subscriber on my YouTube channel. Like I said, if you like to support my channel for free, like the videos you watch here, comment below the video. The more engagement I get, you know, not only in the live chats, but in leaving a comment under the videos afterwards, definitely helps, you know, YouTube show my videos to other people as well. All that jazz. I even have a tip jar down below where you can leave a tip of any amount. That will definitely support me and what I do. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching and listening. You know, planning to just stream or have videos at least a couple of times a week, 2 or 3 at least, and be more consistent once my schedule stabilizes. But thank you all for watching, and all for the likes and hearts and cares and symbols and all that. I'll talk to you again soon, and have a great one. Keep making comics, keep making art.